Special Prosecutor Akisi Ejabing is pushing for constitutional protection to cement his office as the sole institution mandated to spearhead Ghana's fight against corruption. At the Constitutional Review Committee Forum, Mr. Ejabing dismissed what he described as misguided calls to abolish the office and hand over its responsibilities to the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice. He argues that weakening or dismantling the OSP would be a step backward in the country's ongoing battle against graft.
I've heard talk, perhaps Shraj should be given this mandate. It won't work in plain language. Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice. Let Shraj stick to its mandate, which is human rights, and write the OSP into the Constitution as the focal institution to tackle anti-corruption. With this, Shraj always works in hand with the OSP. The two institutions also work in hand with IOCO, as IOCO also focuses on economic crimes. And in our estimation, since 2018, in the space from us working, this works out perfectly.
Well, the former Supreme Court Judge, Sophia Denyira, who is also a member of the Constitutional Review Committee, wants the powers of prosecution of corruption cases firmly placed in the hands of the Special Prosecutor.
We don't need the debate about separating the office of the Attorney General from the Minister of Justice, but rather concentrate all, I would call it, public prosecutions of both public and private persons in relation to corruption. All public prosecution in relation to anti-corruption should come to your office and leave order like murder and stealing with the police and the Attorney General's office.
Azim on this interesting development. We're grateful for your time, Mr. Azim. He joins us via phone lines. Is he on? Do we have Vitus on the line?
Yeah, I'm on the line.
Thank you very much. Well, this, development about handing over the responsibilities of the Office of the Special Prosecutor to Shraj, do you think it's a wise decision to make?
I think there have been two schools of thought on this. There was an initial debate about the mandate of Shraj, that it was too much for it to handle. And so there was a request that we have a separate institution that will handle the anti-corruption mandate. But there was also a reason why they set up the Office of Special Prosecutor. There were calls on the government to separate the Attorney General's office from that of the Minister of Justice, because the Minister of Justice is a political institution, and he thought that it wasn't okay for the Attorney General to handle the anti-corruption aspect. So when the Office of Special Prosecutor was created, the debate about taking away the responsibility of the anti-corruption mandate of Shraj from it ended. So for me, I would say that whichever institution remains, the important thing is to give it the necessary resource and some independence to carry out its mandate.
Well, are there any overlapping responsibilities between these two institutions such that they should be meshed into one? Looking at their mandates, do you think that there's anything overlapping there?
Yes, there is something. It's overlapping. I've told Shraj has an anti-corruption mandate. But Shraj has three mandates: anti-corruption, human rights, and administrative justice. So sometimes Shraj appears to be overwhelmed with executing these three mandates. So if they take the anti-corruption mandate and give it also to a special prosecutor and give it the necessary resources to do it, I think that is fine.
So you support the idea that we should maintain the Office of the Special Prosecutor as well as Shraj and let them, engage in what they're doing. Just that the mandate of Shraj in the regard of fighting corruption should be handed over to to the Office of the Special Prosecutor, so they focus on human rights issues?
Yes, I think that will be fine. They'll focus on human rights issues, and then it has got administrative justice mandate as well. Provided you give the Office of Special Prosecutor the necessary resources and the independence to carry out its anti-corruption mandate.
But the resources have been, major concern, especially to that office, where they are unable to execute fully their mandate. If that is not happening, eventually should they fold up the office?
Well, I don't think that should be a reason to fold up the office, because it's not the only institution that has problems with resources. Several government institutions have problems with inadequate resources. They should manage with whatever they get, and we'll see what happens. But you cannot just say fold up because you don't have resources. Can we say the government should fold up because the government doesn't have resources to manage the country?
What do you make?
Hospitals don't have enough resources, but they are doing their work.
But what do you make about, we have the YOCO, we have the police CID, we have other investigative institutions, all trying to establish, or curb corruption and other crimes related in the field. Do you think that we should bring all those issues under one umbrella, such that the resources needed to fight corruption is indeed done well under one institution, instead of dividing the meager resources that we already have into so many institutions doing almost the same thing?
I don't think that it will be necessary to do that. You see, when you look at each of those institutions, they have their specific mandates. What we need to do is to clearly spell each institution's mandate for it, so that there will be no overlapping.
All right.
If there's no overlapping, there won't be this confusion. But then also, apart from avoiding overlapping, you also have to make sure that they work together and share experiences and reports with each other, so that it can successfully execute their mandate. Some time ago, when I was at GI, I would try to bring them together to try the accountability institution and help them to understand that each information, like if YOCO is already investigating a case, Office of Special Prosecutor does not have to come in. But if Office of Special Prosecutor has some information that will help the YOCO to investigate, it should give that information to YOCO. The same thing with the police. Police should not refuse to give information to YOCO or to Office of Special Prosecutor if that institution has already started investigating the matter.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Vactus Edzim. Now